to Goodnight America. On this show, we talk about very serious articles from very serious publications, but we're just ordinary assholes. So it's going to come across as relatable. Watch, you're going to love it. Tom, what's in the news today?
All right. Well, for our first story, Wall Street Journal, talking about the Googling for old people, and that's a problem for Google, right? So what this story highlights is a shift in online behavior, really among younger people, right? You're increasingly turning to platforms like Amazon, TikTok, right, for information, shopping, rather than doing your traditional old search engine stuff like on Google. So this is the first story. So we're gonna have 6 minutes to talk about this.
Yep.
Okay.
To educate the American public. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Do you guys remember MySpace?
Vaguely, yeah.
YouTube or not YouTube? Yahoo. They used to have commercials and everything. AOL Mail.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, okay, so I'm glad you brought up Yahoo because I've put together a slide presentation, and right off the bat, so Google is for boomers. I still haven't forgiven Google for what they did to Ask Jeeves or Yahoo or the AOL homepage. I think Google has a lot to do with how boring the internet is. Because do you remember the Yahoo homepage or the AOL homepage? There was a lot of shit going on, and then Google just did the one little thing, and since then the internet's been horribly, horribly boring.
I think you should thank the government for how boring the internet is, if we're really going to be honest here. But the reality, I think Google is so prohibitive in how they treat search traffic as well. So like one of the big problems with search traffic is you have to follow their specific algorithm. They don't show a lot of content. So it really does, tailor towards a specific audience group. From a marketing perspective, old people are the only people who buy anything anyway. So, the profits are record high.
They've never been a fan of porn either. They don't like porn searches. They'll do it, but it seems like they're not that into it. You got to go to like Bing doesn't give a shit. You got to go to Bing for porn searches. But so this is the thing about this. The article had some fascinating shit. Like this is a quote at the top that Google had this seemingly insurmountable position in search until AI came around, and now AI is to search what e-commerce was to Walmart. This is according to Melissa Schilling, a professor of management at the New York University Stern School of Business. Okay, so this chart on the left was also in the article, but this doesn't do it justice. So for the first time since they have recorded Google's search traffic, it's going to be below 50%. It topped out in 1999 at 81.95%. It owned search, and now it's losing to things like Amazon, which we're going to bring up. But interestingly, TikTok, because TikTok is saying that within 30 seconds, something like, 23% of their users are searching for something on TikTok that's like informative. Yeah. That's fascinating to me. I'm too old for TikTok, but I think if they blow this lead, it's like the Patriots and the Falcons. You blew a 28-3 lead. You had 81% or 82%.
Yeah.
Now you're losing.
Yeah.
But it showed a humble side to the Patriots. As a Patriots fan, you probably appreciated that in kind of a subliminal way. It's like we're not the Patriots all the time, but
they were the Patriots in the end, which I guess to this point, like Alphabet is still the fifth most profitable company in the world at $2 trillion. So I think the analogy holds up.
And I think what's important to understand here is that people disseminate information differently, right? So what are people going to Amazon for? Right? It's for consumables like products. People go to Google for knowledge. Like Google is also YouTube. So it's like how-to videos, stuff like that. I think that a lot of the things that Google makes their money on is display advertising. So they don't really care why you're going to a website as long as you're going there. Like TikTok, especially focused on e-commerce right now. So sure, they have a lot of searches, but it's probably people going to look up the next viral dance, or like where do I buy this next Team U product?
Which
I got to tell you, my kids, right? So I got 2 seniors in high school, right? So when they're looking at colleges and everything else, like TikTok is their go-to place for all information related to that, which is wild to me. But they're already there, TikTok. So that's why I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's the place to go. But
do you think it's because people don't want to read and they would rather watch videos to get their information? Like this kind of plays into it too, because like I wrote content for websites for search engine purposes back in the day, and the reality that I realized is most of the content you write nobody cares about. Like, have you seen the recipes, the recipe pages?
Oh my God, the recipes drive me batshit crazy. 8,000, like talking the tail of the tomato that you're using. Nobody gives a fuck. Just give me the goddamn recipe. Yes, I know. I hate that.
I picked this tomato and I rubbed its ass before I chopped it into slices.
And you have to do that too. Your sauce isn't going to be as good. So I'm glad you brought up Amazon because it does this very fascinating thing. So again, just this pie chart indicates in 2018, the dark blue is Google, the light blue is Google. So in 2018, one of those red slices is Amazon search. But it's, I mean, it hasn't quite flip-flopped yet, but it's getting this way. So the statistics that I saw in 2022 revealed that 61% of consumers begin their product search on Amazon, while 49% go to Google. Then it said 49% of Americans typically go to their searches when their intent is to buy. So that's flip-flopped as well. So it used to be you'd go to Google for the information, then go to Amazon to buy. But now people are going straight to Amazon. So then I started to say, like, who the fuck is still going to product searches on Google? But then my kid said he wanted a punching bag for Christmas. Google shopping still does a decent job, like Dick's Sporting Goods. I wouldn't get the Dick's Sporting Goods price on Amazon. But it's that thing now where everyone is starting their information search for products on Amazon. Oh, it's problematic. Well, for Google.
And the only time it really matters for Google, if somebody goes through Google to end up on Amazon, is for the cached information. So somebody can make an affiliate margin on it somewhere down the line. You're really doing the same thing. You're searching the World Wide Web for a product that, like, unless you're selling the physical product, you're trying to make money off arbitraging the product. Right.
One more thing they said about this article is that AI assistants are stealing the spotlight. So then I went to Google and then I asked it, how are AI assistants stealing the spotlight from Google? And Google's AI told me, and it's so right because it gives you direct answers. There's contextual understanding of the thing you're asking. So for instance, I saw this thing on Instagram, these banned words. And since I'm 44 and I don't give a shit about slang anymore, but I kind of wanted to understand what it was. So like, this is fascinating. Diddy party is sort of obvious, I think. Skibbity toilet, I've heard, but I don't know what the fuck it is. Ohio. Ohio, I didn't know. I had to look up Ohio, but I'll tell you this. In the old days of Google, if I looked up what does Ohio mean, it would have been 50 articles about the state. But AI in the bottom right-hand corner tells me immediately what Ohio means in slang, which is that it's strange, weird, cringe, or dumb, which is hilarious.
I was going to say, Tom, do you relate to that? You've been to Ohio more than I have. Is Ohio strange, weird, cringe, and dumb?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you know what gyat means?
It's a big old fat booty.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
All right.
Well, I guess
any last comments on this? We want to move to the next one.
First off, I love that timer.
Not bad, right?
Shut the fuck up.
It's Google for boomers is it's depressing. It just goes to show you that no matter how firmly you think you're on top of the mountain, you're just gonna get eventually something else is coming. You know?
My last point on this is, bears are gonna bear. The internet's gonna internet. Like, you're gonna see these natural trends depending on what people do. If Google really wants to be hip and trendy, keep working on shorts. Like, get your information out there in a better way. But
I just think for Amazon to be 1% of the search traffic 6 years ago, and now to be storming forward like this is just fucking fascinating.
They're going the way of Netflix, and I know how you feel about subscriptions.
I fucking hate them. I hate subscriptions. I don't know why we did what we did.